This is TWiT.
Google AI can predict heart attacks just by looking at your eyes. Now, I know all the privacy advocates are going to say, oh, that's terrifying.
Exactly.
This comes from Verily, Google's life extension moonshot. They can use photographs of the retina to predict factors for cardiovascular disease. It works about as well as currently used predictive methods and is far less invasive.
Right. We actually talk about this on tomorrow's IoT podcast, just because of the machine learning aspect of it, because that's what they've done here. They have gone back and scanned the retinal images of prior patients from years back, and then knowing 5 years later that those same patients did have heart disease, they looked for the signs in the retina, and then now applied that through machine learning to current retinal scans, and they come up, I think it was 70% accuracy in the current. 71%, yeah. Right, and it's 72% if they take blood, which is how today's typical process works. So based on the eye scan, the algorithm was able to predict a person's age to within 3¼ years, smoking status with 71% accuracy, and blood pressure within 11 units of the upper number reported in the measurement. And using that data, they could then predict major cardiovascular events. With as you say, 70% accuracy. That's very interesting.
It is. See, technology's not so bad.
Yeah. Until your insurance company starts taking pictures of you on the street looking to see if you're going to have a heart attack and sends you a picture with their red light camera saying, sorry, Jeff, you can't get insurance because we could see from your eyes you're going to get sick.
That is very panoptic, Leo.
Hey, I'm all about the panopticon, man.
A bad path on this show. One of the things that is intriguing to me about networked medicine and medicine derived from AI at this stage is, a lot of people gave those samples and never really were informed of the uses and the possibilities for what, so I'm wondering, did at any time the people who's had their retinas scanned and their medical records released, what is the process by which Google created and contained that data set? Because there's a lot of questions in medicine particularly that raise those very concerns, which is that we have the Health Insurance Privacy and Portability Act for a reason, which is that we are somewhat suspect of corporations finding out our health information and using it against us. And so to me, this leads to a different, this is a similarly bad path. But I do wonder, how that data set was generated.
Joan, there was a case in the UK not that long ago where there was data that would have enabled the prediction of kidney disease. That was disallowed because that was not a use that was anticipated when the data was gathered, which sends me into a tizzy because you can't anticipate. In the rule of AI, you by definition are not anticipating all future uses of data because you don't know what you're going to see.
Yeah, and there are ways when you go to the hospital, you sign, that research is, part of, if you get a biopsy, often your blood that's collected they only need a tiny, tiny bit of it to run those tests. And then the bio waste, as it's called, circulates in a tissue economy. And there's a heavy price on that bio waste in order to make those scientific findings. And so I'm interested to think about, what is the waste of our x-rays and of our scans and of our MRIs, and how is that comprising a market at this point?